Welcome guys to another World War Marvel. As you know, I'm your channel host Adam, and today I'm doing another unboxing and review for CP09 Venom. Yes, we are Venom again. So Atomic Mass Games graciously sent me these a box of models for review just before Christmas, so I thought I'd make sure that I got them up and actually did a review for the models, not just use some battle reports. So without further ado, let's jump into the review in the box and see what the contents are inside. We are Venom. Oh my goodness. I was super, and I cannot say super enough, excited for this model. He's one of my favorite characters. I just love that anti-hero aspect. Like a lot of the models or characters I like in Marvel, like Ghost Rider and sort of like Punisher and stuff like that, they sort of are that anti-hero. Wolverine even, you know what I mean? Like they have that badass sort of feel to them, you know. I don't know, it's just me. I like them. But again, there's back of the box. Again, has a nice little write-up and stuff, which is awesome. Contents is 1 Venom miniature, 1 base, 1 character stat card, 2 team tactics cards, and 10 tokens. So yeah, so I really do like that. The box works great. Everything's great. The assembly guide, as per normal. There you go. There's the assembly guide. Pretty good actually. Like they're not too many. I don't think I had any issues. I think the only small piece that you have to worry about is this piece here, the knuckles on his fists. They're not super big, but not as small as other pieces of other models that have been built. So there is two bases come in. So you got a choice of this base with looks like a little ramp there, or the one that I put him on, which is that. So the model himself. I love the pose. I love the tongue. I just love this model. Super cool. You can leave the tongue out and put it in afterwards, so if you want to get all the details on the inside and stuff like that. But yeah, so I did not do that, and it still turned out all right. And super quick to paint because he's black again with some white. So I did make some mistakes on some whites and covered too much of an area when I was painting them. I just went back with the black again and just touched up the recesses in between, like the legs and stuff like that. But yeah, like just like you can see all his veins rippling on him, like on the miniature and stuff like that. Just super cool. The tongue, look at that. I don't know if that's in focus for you. How's that? Like just that tongue, just you can see like all the texture on it and everything else. Just super cool. But yeah, so Venom, super awesome. I used him in a battle report recently. Go check that out if you haven't yet. He is beastly. So let's go over his tokens, over the tactics cards, and then we'll go over his character card as well for this review, just like we did with everybody else. So let's do this one first. Actually, let's do this first. Yeah, psych. No, so you just get some extra power and some extra wound tokens or bleed tokens there, and then the Spider-Man affiliation tokens. I would think that's what those are for. Obviously, being Spider-Man stuff, which is super cool. So hopefully we get to see more Spider-Verse people. I know Miles Morales and Gwen Spider have been shown. I don't know what's happening as for their release. But they have been shown, so hopefully sometime soon. Green Goblin's been shown as well, so like that would be awesome. I would love to play with a Spider-Verse type thing. But yeah, so that's this token or set, and then let's get into this tactics card. Tactics cards. Here we go. Uneasy Allies. It's an unaffiliated tactics card. It's reactive during this activation when Spider-Man or Venom targets an enemy character with an attack that is within range 2 of the other allied character. Both characters may suffer 1 damage to play this card. This doesn't cost power to play, which is super awesome, but it does cost damage to Spider-Man and Venom. Venom doesn't really care so much about that damage, but Spider-Man might. But what it does is add 3 dice to the attack roll, so that's super awesome. Super awesome for Venom and Spider-Man, especially if you're going to be using one of Venom's attacks. Like, it just adding 3 dice to that is huge. His next one, which I love this card, I think I played it during my battle report that I used Venom. I think so. But Lethal Protector, it's an unaffiliated reactive power. So when an enemy character targets an allied character within range 3 of an allied Venom with an attack, Venom may spend 2 power to play this card. Place Venom within range 1 of the allied character. Venom becomes the target of the attack regardless of range and line of sight. So really, really cool. But it's super awesome when you start playing with Venom and his special rules. So let's look at his card, and you'll see why very fast, especially if you haven't watched any of the live streams or anything like that where Venom has been used, or battle reports online, stuff like that from the review copies that have been going around. So this is Venom's card, and you'll see here why with... so many snacks is a special rule, so it's a reactive special superpower, sorry. After the attack against this character is resolved, it may use this superpower. If the attacker is within range 3 of this character may make an attack against the attacker. The superpower can be used only once per turn. So all of a sudden you get to do one of his attacks after using this lethal protector. So yes, you're going to need 4 power to do that. And then if you want to, we are Venom, 7, but like it's going to be completely worth it. So let's look at a stat card though in detail before jumping ahead like I just did any further. Stamina is 7. Movement is only short, but that's okay because he has a big base and he has means of changing that, his range or negating that, so his range of his attacks as well as some of his superpowers. His size is 3. He is 4 threat, defense to physical defense 4, energy defense is 2, and mystic is 3. So he has symbiote, oh my goodness, tendrils, range 3, 5 dice of damage, cost 0 power. After this attack is resolved, the character gains power equal to the damage dealt. After this attack is resolved, the target character gains the bleed special condition. So imagine like the symbiote is just like ripping into his opponent. Yeah, super awesome. Bleed is always fun. Then the next one is We Are Venom, another range 3 attack, 7 dice of damage and costs 3 power to do. After this attack is resolved, the character removes 1 damage from itself for each damage inflicted. So if you put 5 damage on somebody, which is possible, then all of a sudden you're healing 5 damage, and like it just keeps them on the board. So like I find that if you don't deal with him like in like 1 or 2 attacks during your activation, he's just gonna turn around and We Are Venom you all day and heal right back up. At least that's what I found during my match when I used him. So he has Clintar Rage. It is an active superpower. So choose an interactive terrain feature or an enemy character, both size 3 or less within range 2, and throw it medium. So it can only be used once per turn, and it costs 3 power to do so. He has Web Snare, so push an enemy character within range 4 towards his character medium. Again, both of these help negate that short movement, as well as the range of his attacks, like I was saying, and the size of his base. So like just because he's short movement doesn't mean he's not a threat. Yeah, character can only be pushed by the superpower only once per turn, so it costs 2 power to do so. We already talked about this, but I'll go over it again. Reactive superpower, so many snacks, costs 2. And after this attack against this character is resolved, it may use this superpower. If the attacker is within range 3, this character may make an attack against the attacker. The superpower can only be used once per turn. Then he has symbiotic instincts. When this character is attacking, the defending character cannot modify their dice. Wah, wah, wah. And he does have wall crawlers, so that is super good. Super, super, super good. Yeah, not being able to modify dice is huge, especially when Venom, wants to heal, and he uses that We Are Venom superpower. It's just awesome. I think he's probably one of my, he is one of my favorites already, but like I don't see myself leaving home without Venom in my roster, just to have him as a threat. And for 4 threat, oh my goodness, is he ever. I'm honestly surprised that he only costs 4. I'm surprised he's not at that 5 level. Anyhow, that is the review of CP9. I was about to say 10. CP9 Venom by Atomic Mass Games for Marvel Crisis Protocol. Guys, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, ignite your hobby.